fire department that has responded to a call along with the Hennepin County paramedics here in Minneapolis. The call involves a man that they're putting in the ambulance right now. He's about 90 plus. The complaint was shortness of breath and possible other complications. What is happening here is the Hennepin County paramedics are now transporting this man back to the hospital where he will be evaluated by doctors, and we're going to ride along with them. We'll be back a little bit later in the show to tell you what it's like to ride along with the paramedics as we spend 6 hours with them. Got to get with them right now. More later in the show with the paramedics.
We have all seen the emergency trucks around town, the paramedics, but have you ever actually seen one in action? Have you ever seen one in action?
I haven't. I've never been on the scene.
But they are very busy. They called Gary and they said, come on along and see what we really do. He went along with videographer Dan Lensmeyer, and this is what happened.
I have one down on Nicollet, you're 10-5, code 3, 1126.
At any moment, at least 8 911 ambulances are on call in Hennepin County. And when one is rolling, heads turn with a screeching siren and flashing lights. The speeding ambulance instills a sense of urgency in onlookers and a sense of mystery. For whatever lies at the end of its path must be a tragedy. Up front are 2 paramedics trained to deal with the most traumatic of emergencies. But how often is a 911 call a real emergency? We spent 6 hours with a Hennepin County Medical Center ambulance to find out. We're going to spend in the next 5 or 6 minutes of your time the equivalent of 5 or 6 hours of real time here as we show you what it's like in the day in the life of, at least 6 hours worth, a Hennepin County paramedic.
Port 7, have a possible heart, Dayton's on the mall.
In fact, a team of paramedics. They are Stan Tequila and Shelley Mosing. Their first call, a possible heart attack. They find an elderly man sitting out on the sidewalk. An emergency medical technician from the fire department is already giving him oxygen and taking his blood pressure. This allows Stan to question the man about what kind of pain he is having.
Can you describe the pain to me? Is it sharp, dull, aching, burning?
It's just like a knife sticking me. It runs through the whole chest.
A bit later, the patient is in the ambulance where the decision is made to start an IV. And this is a good example of the significant difference between an EMT and a paramedic. An EMT has 110 hours of training and can take blood pressure, do CPR, and administer oxygen. A paramedic, on the other hand, has months and months of training and therefore can start IVs, administer medications, and even interpret EKGs. Yet, as Stan says, paramedics often get very little respect.
We're not seen as paramedics. We're seen as ambulance drivers, as somebody who just puts you in the ambulance and drives you to the hospital and stops off and can get the pizza on the way.
In reality, of course, the paramedics are often a victim's lifeline.
Possible motorcycle PI, possibly 2 injured. You're 10-5, code 3 at 1048.
Well, we're rolling on another call right now, and you don't get information over the radio. All we know now is that there is someone down, and it involves a motorcycle. Could be anything. We'll have to wait and see when we get there. The element of the unknown is always present. On the scene, we find a mangled bike with its gas tank ripped off. Yet, except for some bad scrapes on his arm, the victim was not badly hurt. So this is an example of how some serious-sounding incidents turn out to be not that serious at all. In fact, during our 6-hour ride with the paramedics, we were surprised at how many calls they got, yet how few were actually serious. 2 words paramedics hear a lot during their shift are one down.
One down on Nicollet by the McDonald's. You're 10-5, code 3, 1126.
One down means just that. Someone is down on the ground. Generally cause unknown. Accident, heart attack, stroke, who knows. And so every call is taken seriously. In this case, they indeed find a man who is down. The reason? Intoxication.
Whoa, don't get up yet. You can't be sleeping here.
And this happened not once on this day, but a second time.
Come on, man.
No, taking me to dig shop.
No, we're not. We're going to bring you home. Come on. And then, a bit later, a third call for intoxication. This time, there are 2 down.
Hey, wake up.
Ah,
Wake up. Couple of regulars. About 3:30. Thanks, guys.
And then, while trying to do a quick interview with Stan, we got another one-down call. But this one was a bit unusual.
We got a call for somebody who drank a mop and glow over at a home for...
Mop and glow, huh?
Yeah, look at Shelley.
We'll finish this interview later. Someone just drank mop and glow. Hey, that's what it's all about. Let's roll.
The dispatcher, who knows more information, did not call for lights and siren this time, which Stan admitted was always a bit of a relief.
It's one of the most dangerous parts of this job, is going lights and sirens, going through intersections with that are lights against us. That's when you have the most accidents, you're going lights and sirens. So it's actually a benefit to us not to have to race around lights and sirens, risking our lives, risking the people's lives around us, and get there in a timely fashion.
4 and 7, take 1 injured in a domestic, bleeding from the wrist and hand.
By now, it's early afternoon, and our team of paramedics have been called to this scene. This man's wrist is severely bleeding. It's a situation that could easily become very serious without the proper medical attention. He says he was pushing on a door when his hand went through the glass, slicing his wrist. But that's not the last call. Other cases throughout the course of this day would include a child with an asthma attack, a suicide attempt, and a man with internal stomach bleeding. And as our 6 hours neared an end, we got one last call for a neighborhood gas leak.
And now our 6 hours with the paramedics is just about up, and we're on standby. There's a gas leak in this neighborhood, and they're evacuating an entire block here. So the police, the fire, and the paramedics are here just in case. Just another type of service that the paramedics are called on to perform. And it kind of gives you an idea of what the 6 hours have been like. Busy, but a lot of routine kind of activities. The calls. That's what it's like in the daytime. At nighttime, they tell me it's a totally different story, and it's getting dark now. We're going to come back tomorrow and show you 6 hours at night with the paramedics. See you next time.
Gary went along to find out. Here's Gary.
Right now, you're looking at people that are being treated inside an ambulance here, a Hennepin County Medical Center ambulance being treated by the Hennepin County paramedics. Now, what is happening here is that there has been a traffic accident, and we're going to be spending the next 6 or 8 hours with the Hennepin County paramedics as they cover situations like this. Now, let me show you what kind of accident we're talking about. Now, those are the people being treated right now. They were in that car. There was another car on the other side of the intersection here. And an accident like this leaves people hurt, and that's what the Hennepin County Police paramedics are doing. They're treating them here at the scene, and just in moments, they'll be taking them to the hospital, where they will continue to be treated there. We're going to ride along, as I said, here on the night shift with the paramedics and see exactly what these people go through. They tell me anything can happen, and I guess we're ready to roll now. So we'll be back later in the show and tell you what it was like to be with these folks.
In the suitcase, we'll have a number on the city line that we can refer you to.
Okay.
Paramedics, what do they do at night? Gary went along to find out. Here's Gary.
How's that feel? Is it okay?
One down on Nicollet. Your 10-5, code 3.
This is the continuing story of the Hennepin County paramedics in action. It's a story of minutes and seconds, of life and death, of routine calls and tragic ones.
4 and 7, have a female splashed with battery acid.
My knee hurts.
Our paramedics are Shelley Mosing and Stan Tequila. They're on the scene of an acid burn.
It starts burning and it's really bad. And then I went to the sink and I ripped off.
This is a woman splashed with battery acid by a man who jumped out from behind some bushes, doused the woman, and then ran away. These are paramedics in action on the night beat.
Well, what you have just witnessed is a small sample of what it's like to be a Hennepin County paramedic as they work the night shift. And we're going to discover ourselves what that is like, because we are riding along with one of the units right now, and will be for about the next 5 or 6 hours. It's a little after 9 o'clock in the evening right now, and here on the night shift, they tell me anything can happen.
4 and 7, unconscious, stabbing to the chest. You're 10-5, code 3.
By the time our paramedics arrive, police and the firefighter rescue squad are already on the scene. Inside, they find a man lying on the floor, stabbed in the neck. He is unconscious. Each knows exactly what to do. No questions asked. They move quickly, efficiently. Emergency medical technicians from the rescue squad take blood pressure and attempt to stop bleeding. The paramedics prepare the victim for the ambulance. They're careful to prevent injury to his neck and spine, which could cause permanent paralysis. He has lost a great deal of blood, but by the time they rush him out the door, he has regained consciousness.
What's the lady came to stab you?
Moving quickly now, getting him inside the ambulance, one of the most important things a paramedic does is to give early medical attention on the scene. The idea is to stabilize the victim before they transport him to the hospital. In the ambulance, an IV is set up, and as soon as they're situated, they roll. On the way, Stan makes contact with the Hennepin County Medical Center and talks directly with the doctor.
We've got approximately 30-year-old black male stabbed, as far as we can tell, once in the neck, left side. Significant blood loss, estimating over 1,000 cc's.
He also informs the doctor what medical procedures they have done so far. The doctor has no further instructions, but is now fully aware of what to expect when the ambulance arrives. And 3 minutes later, they do arrive at the hospital. The evening is young.
No possible PI, car and bike involved. One down in the street. You're 10-5, code 3, 2219.
On the scene, they find a young man lying on the street. He is conscious, and the paramedics tell him to lie still.
Lay still, okay?
In the middle of his back.
Shelley keeps talking to him to keep him alert. Remaining conscious can help prevent damage to the brain. She also gets information about who he is and where he hurts. Inside the ambulance, they cut open his pants and examine his legs and discover a severe gash. As they watch them provide this important early medical care to the victim, I'm reminded of what Stan told me about how little recognition paramedics often get.
Everyone gets the recognition, the police department, the fire department gets the recognition. The paramedics are always in the background. They're the ones who are always doing the advanced life support, doing the life-saving, and they get absolutely no recognition whatsoever.
As the night goes on, he and Shelley end up doing much they should get recognition for. They help an elderly man who is experiencing an asthma attack.
A little asthma tonight, huh?
Right.
They assist a child having a seizure.
Baby? Mama's right here.
And they come to the rescue of a man who was assaulted by someone using a wrench.
One of them hit me in the head with some vice grips, man. And I took off running, man. I'm cool, man.
It's all in a night's work, but the night isn't over. And what happens next will really put their years of training to work.
4 and 7, no possible PI, 2 cars involved. You're 10-5, code 3, 147.
PI means personal injury. In this case, more than one. And we're on our way to a multiple car crash. As we arrive, we notice another ambulance is already on the scene. This accident is apparently serious enough to call in more than one unit. Multiple cars, multiple victims. It is what you would expect an accident scene to be like. Somber, tense, hectic. But as usual, the paramedics go right to work.
How's that feel? Is that okay? All right. How's this? It's all okay? These legs are okay?
Which one do you want us to take?
You can, either one.
Or do you want to take them both?
All right, 1, 2, 3.
It's been a long, busy night for the paramedics, and no doubt they'll have more like it in the future.